breaking down Lubbock high sports. This is the Westerner Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Good Wednesday night. We are on 100.7 The Score and on Fox 34 News now if you're watching on TV. This is Randy Rosetta. We're going to jump into the high school fan zone for the next to last Wednesday of the school year. We have one more week next week. We'll talk to Lubbock High, Coronado, help me getting all untangled here. Lubbock Cooper and Friendship. One more Friendship and Lubbock Cooper in that order. One more time this season, and then we will or tonight and then next week. Then we'll take a little hiatus and come back in the fall when high school sports gets hot and heavy again. There's still a lot of high school sports happening right now, though. Talk about what's still going on, but first I want to jump into the Lubbock High fan zone and talk some Lady Westerner basketball. Coach Gerardo, I get it right?
Yep.
Arzaga.
Yep.
I've been practicing.
I appreciate it.
Y'all, two coaches, make sure you have that one close to you. And
is that good enough?
Yep. You've got a good coach's voice, so
right,
that shows up. Introduce who you brought with you.
I brought assistant coach Addison Dameron, and then going to be junior Aubrey Wynn, going to be junior Bella Riley.
You two were involved in other sports too, right? Okay, your names sound familiar from typing them in either track. Both of you? Okay,
yes,
good deal. Gerardo, I'm trying to think the last time you were we in districts? You were in district season? I think so. You guys were fighting, trying to kind of keep your head above water. The season didn't go as you guys wanted, but I'm going to say this again. I told you this last time. You guys maybe know this. This dude is the most optimistic man I've ever dealt with in this business. He just kept saying, we're getting better. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. That's got to be a good thing for you guys. So grab that mic. I want you to talk about playing for Coach the first year and what stage has kind of been set now moving forward. What did you guys learn about Coach this year?
I learned that he never gave up. Because even though we were down by who knows how much, depending on some games, but Coach A was always just yelling at us, encouraging us to keep on scoring, encouraging us to steal the ball, and encouraging us to finish the game.
What about you, Aubrey? Aubrey, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He would always tell us that he is going to coach us hard but love us harder, and I think that is definitely what he lives up to most, and that's how I would describe him. He is actually a really good coach, and he's much better than I thought he would. I mean, first impression was terrible. Terrible, but you know
I feel
what?
like there's a story there.
Yeah.
Really?
We'll talk in between.
A story for another
breaks
time.
There we go.
I'm really excited for this season and next season.
So, Gerardo, remind me, you got the job, was it about this time last year or was it a little bit later?
No, it was actually after next week, I guess, would be the call that when Mr. Young gave me the phone call.
Okay.
So a year from next week.
Because a couple of coaches, this has kind of been a theme this week. January came in and kind of the same deal.
Yeah.
That, you don't think about it. You think, I've got the whole summer to get ready. And that's not quite the case because you have to get used to, especially coming from a Friendship and coming from a different school district. You may have known some of the girls, but that's a process to get to know them, for them to get to know you. How much more comfortable is it right now going into this offseason?
It's been a blast. It's one of the things that we've been talking about with our exit meetings and every day after our workouts, after school or during the period and with the off-season group, because a lot of our girls went and played softball and did track. It was neat to see these girls kind of bloom in a sense. Their personalities started coming out, started having a little bit more fun in the sense of getting to know each other. On my standpoint as well. We've been having a lot of fun, but still working hard and implementing some new things with the group of girls that are returning, but just continuing to get better every single day. And one of the things that we've kind of started to instill is the motto of next play, work hard, and you just got to do that every single day. What you're doing is, if you didn't have a good day, that's fine. Next day, you gotta go harder.
Remind me, you and your wife had a baby, or you've got one on the way?
Oh, no. That'd be news to me, Randy.
All right, because you sound, that's good parenting.
Well, I appreciate it.
So there you go. You'll be ready. Introduce us to assistant coach here.
This is our JV coach, Addison Dameron.
And where did you come from, Addison?
I came from Lubbock High.
Okay.
I actually went to Coronado I graduated in 2020.
All right. Good Lord, y'all are getting younger and younger. So you played for Coach?
I was originally with JJ Johnson, and then I went with Nancy Pickin. But
Okay.
Daniela Garcia, who's at Lubbock High now, was my assistant coach all 4 years while I was there.
So you switched from softball over to basketball. Or are you also coaching softball as well?
I am coaching softball next year. I played basketball in high school. I was aggressively mediocre, but
Well,
we
that's
both
the
love-
best way to be mediocre. Yeah. So did you play for, and her name's escaping me.
Etheridge.
No, I've got to bug her all the time for golf stuff now. And that, to me, having an assistant coach that was part of Coronado, because back then Coronado had it going, they're going to get there again with Katie there, but with your success that you had at Friendship, that's a good foundation. These girls, they seem to like you. And maybe that will get them to kind of lock in a little bit. Coach Arzaga had this success. Coach Dameron had this success. How much do you tap into that, knowing that you've been part of that? You know what it's like to get a team and girls to succeed.
I think they see it when coming into like workouts and things like that. My intensity is really high. Coach Dameron has a really high intensity as well. That's how you are successful is your effort every single day is there. There's no days off. That's just the mentality that I've carried on when I played at LCU as well, and back in Arizona, you can't take days off if you want to be successful. And a lot of these girls do multi-sports, which we absolutely love. And with the multi-sports there is no days off. You go from one thing to the other, and they do multiple things, and NHS and choir and band,
Yes.
and so there's no days off. And if you want to be successful at all those, you continue to practice at all those. I haven't told them this, but when you want to rest, it's when you decide to kind of hang it up and be done with it. So if you're going to be all in, be all in.
There's another way of saying it. We used to say in the Army, but I'm not going to use that on the air. When you said you played for Coach JJ, that's all I needed to know about your intensity level and how. And not that Coach Pickin wasn't. I did see her coach, but JJ, I hope you're listening. He comes off as this nice, mild-mannered old guy now. I saw enough when I was back at the AJ back in the day to know that's not the case. So. Coming up on a break, we're going to talk more Lubbock High girls basketball after this in the Westerner Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Breaking down Lubbock High sports. This is the Westerner Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. This is the High School Fan Zone on a Wednesday night. I'm Randy Rosetta. We're on 100.7 The Score and Fox 34 News Now. I also always post these up on hubcitypreps.com the next day, so a lot of ways to watch, listen, make fun of, wonder what stories aren't getting told, all kinds of different stuff. Gerardo, we were just talking about district changes next. First year as a head coach, you jump into District 3, 5A, and you got a taste of that, but now you just throw in two more playoff teams with Friendship and Memorial coming in, but you may as well. If you're going to do something, you may as well do it right and do it as hard as possible. These are two of your girls coming back. What's the level of excitement you've sensed from them about getting into this, kind of jumping into the frying pan as older girls now?
I think there's more excitement. Just these girls have been together, really since Hutch. A lot of our girls returning are coming from Hutch, but they've been together their freshman year together. Kind of try to keep everyone together. Their sophomore year playing JV. Obviously, we moved up Aubrey, and Bella started the year with us on varsity, but just trying to keep that group together, and you can just tell the relationships, and just it's more of there's no true weights on their backs. They kind of play freely, and they get after it every single day. There's things that we got to work on, obviously, but I think just having those relationships and just being able to trust each other, it goes a long way.
For you two, losing's not what you sign up to do sports for. You want to do a lot of things with sports, but you also want to win. So there's some life lessons to going through a year last year. What did last year teach you?
Last year taught me to never give up, even when we're down. Against Caprock was probably our best chance all season, and when we played them at home, we were really close to them. We were fighting to the last minute to try to win, try to get that first district win. But even though we lost, it was still, at the end of the day, we did a lot of good things as a team. And it's more of not how much we lost by, but more of what good things we ended up doing to at least score or stop the ball and just try to find the good things out of the games instead of looking at all the negative.
You did beat Caprock once, right?
Yes, we did.
Okay,
We beat them at home.
I thought you did. What about you, Aubrey? What are some things you took away from being on the varsity? Things, the scoreboard not going your way, but what did you learn about just kind of what you have to do as a person, not just a basketball player?
Well, what I learned was it's not only about how you start, but also it's more important how you finish the game and how you think about it. Just looking at things on the court, even though you are losing, things aren't going your way. It's more about what you can do to help your team, help yourself, help your coach. But even though we did have a little bit of a rough season, I think it showed me that my coaches probably see a lot more in me than I do. Also because I got moved up to varsity, it's like, wow, I didn't know I was that good for varsity actually. But I'm really excited. Yeah.
Coaches usually have a pretty good idea what they're doing. So, what are your girls' plans for the summer? What do you want to see them do to take steps?
Again, just being aggressive. And playing together, just kind of getting more comfortable with some new concepts that we're implementing, and just like I've told them, we're going to try these new concepts and we're going to kind of trial and error, see if they work out for us. We're bringing a lot of athleticism, trying to play a lot. That's one of the things that I've noticed that the program hasn't done in kind of past years, where it's just the varsity going to team camps and things like that, and so. Trying to get our JV and our freshman kids to go to multiple ones. All of June is booked up, playing every single weekend, and then was able to host one this year at the end of June.
Wow. Yes, Jay told me that. Yeah.
So they're coming. Shallow Water's coming. Lamesa, Level Land. Just trying to get local teams to not have to travel to Abilene at the end of July, end of summer. Just trying to keep it here local and. Again, just grow the game of basketball of West Texas, but also just to give all those kids the opportunities. The Coronados, the Monterreys, the Estacados, trying to get those freshmen they're coming off of middle school, so they're not playing every single weekend and things like that. And so just giving them and parents the opportunity to come watch their kids play and grow the game of basketball for LISD, really.
What about you? If you're also going to be coaching softball, you're going to have to juggle a little bit. What are your summer plans as a young assistant coach, very young assistant coach?
Really, my summer plans, I like seeing the girls get to grow and get to learn as they continue in their basketball knowledge. Like, especially him coming in last year, getting to see them learn the new plays, learn the new aggressivity that they needed to do from when I had them as freshmen to all of a sudden as their JV and their varsity level, they knew that they no longer could sit back and wait on the ball. They knew they needed to be aggressive. They knew they needed to move because they aren't as big as other teams, but they're faster. And they learned really well how to do that.
All right, real quick, Gerardo. Your former boss is riding off into the sunset.
Hope you guys enjoy it. Just make sure to keep watching basketball.
He'll be on later today with Paul Payne.